weeks for you to like travel from island to island. This is like a 4 week journey though. Um, and so we go to the next island,
Mm.
and on this island there's like a bunch of coconuts.
Yeah.
But I don't really like coconuts. Like I like honestly, see about it in one of my like, little Christmas boxes. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
getting thrown out. That's just me.
Okay.
Um, but what I found weird was the fact that like these coconuts, yeah, were infested with termites, and the village people that lived like on this island, they this is what they eat like every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was sitting there, and I was like, I need to like get rid of these termites because if they eat these coconuts, yeah, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Like,
And like I know we're pirates, yeah, but come on, have some respect for the village people.
mhm.
So I go in there, get rid of the termites, and they're all like, they all start praising
How
me. They build me like a little.
how did you get rid of the termites?
I just like fixed it up. Like, like put some termites around there, and then
Oh,
all the things. 'Cause, like these are on an island, so like these don't have that many like things there.
okay, so how did you
To
get the
like, get rid of
termites
the
through? If,
termites.
like, it was unravel, like, that
What?
many things? How did you get the
No, no,
termites
no.
through?
Oh, 6 people on the ship. Someone has termites. Break them up.
Okay, fair
Anyway,
enough. That makes
so
sense.
then he built me a tower. Yeah,
Yeah,
like a tower where I could literally look down on the peasants,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he built me a little statue made out of the gold that I got from the spear tips from before. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I was sitting there, like sitting in my tower, and I was like, okay, time to enter the next island. So I go to the next island, and I'm like, okay, after this, we'll probably head home. Yeah, you know, we've got food, which is the coconuts. We
Mhm.
got the kid. We killed all them village people. We've had our fun. It's just time to go home. So I'm sitting there, and I'm on this next island, and I see it's a CIA government building, and I'm like, whoa, that's a bit mad. What are the CIA doing out
Hey,
here?
what's going on,
So
man? I can't even play.
so me and the 6 people, yeah, get off the ship
Mhm.
and we're armed, like we're armed to the teeth, yeah. And we go in there. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And Elon Musk comes out and he's like, sorry, we're just building another rocket. And it's like, fine, Elon. I met Joe Biden before. I met Trump. We're best mates, yeah. We have each other on Twitter. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking to Elon, yeah, and he's like, hey, what about if you get in this rocket and you just go out through the like have a little exploration? I'm like, yeah, you know what, Elon, I'll do it. Okay, because no one's been to space in a minute.
Mhm.
I have like a couple weeks left. Um, so I'm like, you know what? I was gonna head home. I'm gonna be honest, but 6 people leave the kid behind. Okay, so 5 people going in a rocket. That's decent. Like, they have enough food for it. They've been preparing for a while. So he's like, okay, well, we're not gonna send you to Mars. We'll send you to Jupiter. So I go to Jupiter dead
And,
quick. Yeah,
like,
I'm
how
talking
long
like
how long did it take you to get to Jupiter?
3 days because it was a really fast rocket.
Okay, 3 days,
So I
that's
get yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
not
So
bad.
I get to Jupiter, yeah, and I'm sitting there and I get out like my little sunbed. I'm like
Um,
getting a tan. And the
um,
sun's wait no please wait what
can I say something? Um,
yeah
you can't actually stand on Jupiter.
no but Elon gave us like these special suits. It's
Okay,
Elon Musk, Joel.
sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. Like
So
Tesla
I'm
shoes,
sitting
yeah?
there. Yeah, no, just like Tesla suits. So
Okay.
I'm sitting there, yeah, and I'm like I've got my little sunbed out. You know, we're all like all 5 of us. So I just sitting there, and then that's when we hear like these noises coming from beneath our feet. So I look down, and there's this little like Jupiter alien. And I'm like, What's your name?" And he's like, "My name's Edmund." And so I'm like, "Oh, hi, Edmund." And he's like, "Hi, what's your name?" And I'm just like, "Ben." And he's like, "Oh, hi, Ben." And I was like, I met Donald Trump. And he was like, "Oh, did you?" And I was like, "Oh, we have this like little back and forth." And he's like, "I saw that you're getting your tan on. Do you want to come inside, have a brew or something?" I'm like, "You know what? I'll go in." You get me? Because these are aliens. You've never done that before.
Mhm.
So I go inside, start like having a drink, and the people come out. They're like, "Oh, hi, you're humans." I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" Um, we talk for like a couple hours,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, you know what? Jupiter's fun, yeah, but girls go to Jupiter to get stupid. You get me? So I'm like, man, might as well go to Uranus because that's funny. So I go over there, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not gonna lie, it's not that fun over there. It's dead small because it's a dwarf planet now, yeah. I'm thinking Mars. No one's been to Mars yet because it's had like a decent amount of fuel. So it's been like 5 days now, and we're all sitting there. We're all a bit space lagged, and I'm like, you know what? We might as well just get home. So we go home, yeah. It takes us like another day or so to go home. And when we actually land, um, Elon's there and he's like, you know what, you did such a good job. I'm gonna give you a Medal of Honor. And I'm like, thank you, Elon. So I go out, get my Medal of Honor, and meet the Queen. She just like the little sword thing, gives me like knighthood or whatever. Um, and I go back to my mansion. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I did a lot these 4 weeks. I had like a good vacation. But the one thing I didn't do was I didn't go to Hawaii. So I go to Hawaii dead quick on the plane, the private jet. And I'm sitting in Hawaii, and Tom Cruise comes over to me. And he's like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good," And he was like, "Oh, I saw you on the news with Biden and Trump." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And he was like, "Listen, do you want to be in this movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What movie is it?" And he's like, "Batman." I'm like, "Okay, you're doing a Batman movie. That's fine." Um, who am I? And he's like, well, we want you to be the Batman. I'm like, you know what? Go for it. Black Lives Matter and that. So I'm like starring this Batman movie, and I'm thinking to myself, geez, I don't have much time. You know, I had to call in sick because I'm working at this job, yeah, for this billionaire. Because he actually said he'd give me $1 billion a month if I just work for him that quick.
Mhm.
So I'm like, you know, I
What
call
are
in,
you
I'm like,
working
hey,
as?
I'm doing this, janitor. So I'm like,
Oh,
hey, I'm gonna keep doing this acting thing on the side, yeah. Might have to give it like another week. And he's like, you know what, that's fine. Here's $1 billion just like to get you through the week. Thanks. And so I'm sitting there and I'm doing this Batman thing, and you know, Batman kills Joker. New movie, he's a killer now. And after that's done, I'm like sitting there watching it. It's like, you know, that's decent, that's decent. I can like get it. So that goes in the cinema. I think like the movie and like 42 billion. And obviously Trump was in the movie as well. And then I'm on like my way home from doing the shoot, and I see Obama. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, oh Christ, it's Obama. Like, don't get me wrong, love the guy. I just think as a president, he was a bit, but I mean, great guy. You know, I go over to him, I'm like, hi Obama, how are you? He's like, oh, I'm good. I'm like,
Nice. He's like,
hey, do you want to come over and play this game? And I'm like, what game are you playing? And he's like, well, I think I want to play Civ 5. I'm like, Civ 5, let's go on Civ 6 at least. And he's like, no, I want to play Civ 5. I'm like, you know what? I understand that you were the president, but you're not anymore. I'm not going to take this from you. And he's like, come on, there's no need to be like this. And I'm like, come on now, Obama. No one plays Civ 5. It's decent, but like Civ 6 is out. I understand what's the problem. He doesn't have the DLC installed. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, come on, I'll buy you the DLC. I've got a couple billion, but he's too like prideful and he won't let me buy it for him. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, you know what, Obama, I'm just gonna go home now. So I go home, yeah, and I look on Twitter, and Robert Downey Jr. has followed me. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, okay, well, might as well get on Fortnite with him.
mhm.
And so I get on Fortnite with him, and I'm carrying, I'm doing like decent.
Yeah.
And then I sort of realised that like my PlayStation, it's a PS4. Because I'm playing on PlayStation because Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
really has PlayStation.
Fucking
So I'm
come on
thinking,
now.
okay, I know. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll just go out. I try and get a PS5, but I can't because obviously, you know, everyone's still trying to get one.
Yeah.
Bit of a crisis.
Yeah.
So I'm
My
scrolling through
God.
my contacts. Terry Crews is like, hey, do you want a PS4? I'm like, yeah, go out.
Of
So he
course.
gives me the PS4, yeah, like another PS4, which is a bit weird, because my old one broke. And I'm sitting there, you know, playing on the PS4, and it's like, fine, you know what? Then his son, yeah, goes, yeah, I'll just take my PS5, and I'm like,
What's the
thanks.
song called?
So I take what?
What's the song called?
It's this new son called Jeremy.
Oh.
I don't think it's been announced yet though, because I get like all the things like a
Yeah,
week early.
yeah.
So his new son Jeremy comes over, and he gives me the PS5. I'm like, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm just getting so serious. So
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like, thank
it's
you
such a
for giving
sad
me the
story.
PS. They're like, thank you for giving me the PS5. I was like, oh, no problem. And so I'm on the PS5, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay, but I just don't like the games on there. So I whip out my phone, yeah, and I actually start speaking to Ninja. I know we were talking about this before though, but he's like, you know, I'm speaking to him. And I'm like, oh, how's it going? And I'm like, how's Jess and that? And he's like, oh yeah, she's fine. And then I'm like, Ninja, what's happening with you and Twitch? And he's like, you know what? I'm just not into the streaming thing anymore. I do it for fun. I don't do it for viewers. I have like all my money now. You have yours, obviously. I'm like, yeah, I got that, I got that. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know what, Ninja? I appreciate you, yeah. You're a dead sick guy. I think you can do better, but you know what? I'm glad that you're living your life. He's like, do you want to go on GTA 5? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm playing GTA 5, and then Rockstar like, actually DMs me on Twitter and like, hey, do you want like new access to GTA 6? I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I get on it, and you know what? The gameplay is quite funny. I admit, like the new characters, yeah, they're okay. They don't have names. They're like they're nothing like Far Cry 5. Like these don't have names.
Yeah.
And like, it's all like randomly generated for each playthrough, which I thought was quite a good addition. Also, like the map's like infinite, like Minecraft, but the weirdest thing that I saw in it was that Hitman from the Hitman series, Agent 47, was actually like a playable character. He was DLC for £40,
In GTA 6?
and yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
fucking mad,
yeah.
though.
I know, and so I was
That's
sitting there, and I was like, that actually was mad to me because I
I
was like,
know.
why are you playing as
That's
Agent
mad to me, man.
47?
That's like mind blowing.
Yeah, it was a crossover thing. So I'm
Yeah.
sitting there and playing, you know, it's fun. But then I realize, yeah, and this is the maddest thing, yeah. The Just Cause 4 DLC is the exact same as GTA 6. And I was like, I'm playing the same game here. And you've just like, I know they give it to me for free, yeah, but I want a refund type thing, you get me?
Yeah.
And
Like,
so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what is this? Like they've
Yeah.
scammed people of money if they sell this. And so I get onto Rockstar, I'm like, hey, I've
my God.
caught you know, I've caught you out. and like, you know, we admit you're telling the truth. You know, we messed up. I'm like, it's fine. Just do better next time. I'm like, okay, we will. Um, and that's why it's been taking so long because they had to like redo the game basically. Um, so I'm sitting there after all this in my mansion. I'm like, you know what? I love this like these weeks off, yeah, that I've had, and I've loved working for like the billionaire, but
Yeah.
it's just sometimes it gets very. I have it all, you get me, and I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's very sad, and so I go downstairs, and guess who I see?
Who?
The tribesmen, and
From
they're all
before
literally,
with the
yeah.
spearheads, fam.
Well,
The
yeah, but
golden
the
ones,
ones
the
that
golden
yeah, yeah,
spearheads,
yeah, 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 but
fam.
we attacked them
Yeah. Yeah.
in when
Yeah.
I was in Crew of 5, so I'm sitting there about, like, literally, I'd say 2,000 of them are outside.
Mhm.
Um, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "I can't take these on." And then as I look down at me katana, I'm like, "You know what? No, I can." So I
Yeah.
go upstairs, and I pause time with my little pause time button,
Yeah.
and I actually spent 260 years, yeah, infusing this katana with Blackerite, which is a material
Fam.
only black people can get, yeah.
Like, was that like
So I'm
formed like when Black Lives Matter was a thing? Like, it just had like formed
yeah,
on the
yeah,
crust of
yeah,
the
yeah.
earth.
Mm,
Fam, that's mad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so
No,
sick.
no, it wasn't the crust of the earth, it was on Jupiter, and the Jupiter people sent it to
Fam.
me for
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Lives
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, yeah, and I'm like getting this Blackerite and I'm putting it in this katana.
Mhm.
I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna fight these 2,000 tribesmen, I'm putting everything on it. 260 years, by the way.
Fam.
So first off, the gold tip for the katana,
Yeah.
then the Blackerite that's been infused into it, the coconut hairs, yeah,
Yeah.
from the termites, because the termites have been on there,
Yeah.
actually made iridium.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I put some iridium on it, yeah, and then I got obsidian from the volcano island. I don't know if you remember, but there was a volcano island,
Yeah. I
and
remember.
that we just quickly passed by.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got I
Yeah.
got some obsidian from that and placed that on the katana,
Yeah.
and I go out, yeah, full samurai suit, which is also black and white, by the way.
Like full Blackerite armor, like netherite, but like
Yeah, yeah,
Blackerite.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I go out and I see like the tribesman leader. Keep in mind, it's been 260 years, yeah, but like I was an age during that time. So I undo the time thing and then go out and I see him and
What's
he's
his
like,
name?
"You,"
What's his name?
I think it's like Tamoris.
Oh yeah.
So Tamoris looks at me and he's like, "You killed my people. Now you will pay." And I'm like, "Nah, that's just not happening." And so I whip out my katana. I'm like, "Whooshoe, whooshoe, whooshoe," and in like 5 seconds, yeah, they're all dead. And I'm like, you know what?
Fam.
That was a job well done. So I call up Trump and I'm like, "Hey, you can get rid of bodies, can't you?" And he's like, "Have you seen what we've done to Epstein?" So quickly get the bodies, scoop them in the bin. Biden's like, "Hey, if you since you're going back to like your normal life now, we'll just take all the mansions and stuff off you free of charge. Don't worry, we'll like put good things there. I'm like, you know what, you can go for it." And then a billionaire messaged me. He's like, "Listen, if you ever need like, another billion, just like come here and I'll give you the money." I'm like, "Thank you." And then the people that I was traveling with, yeah, they're like, they all get off the ship because I'm just passing the docks, and they're like, "Listen, you know, it's been fun. We're gonna keep sailing." And I'm like, you know what, go ahead, do you know, dream. If you have a dream, do it. You got me. I'm not gonna stop that. And so I'm getting to my house like now, and I sit down. I'm like, you know what? I need a shower, and that's why I have my shower before
Mhm.
after these 4 weeks. I just sat down now. And I have to tell you this. You get me? Like
Yeah.
that's it basically.
That
Like
was a
that's just what
fucking
I've
mad
been doing
story though.
recently.
That was
Uh,
so mad. Like
it
it
was,
honestly, like it really gave me like a new like view of life and like a new meaning. Like, and
yeah,
I think the lesson that it taught all of us watching is that
yeah,
even when you've got everything, it can't find your happiness.
yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that's what it means.
That's basically what I was trying to say. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so mad, man. Like, actually, did that actually happen though? Was that like fully real?
yeah, yeah. No, no, yeah, yeah.
That's
Like
so
that's what
mad.
like that's my 4 weeks. Like during that time, obviously I had to go to photography and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I
Like
think
midway through,
education
like
matters above
obviously.
all that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, that was a real story. That actually happened. It was quite
That's mad.
eventful. I'd say.
That's so sick, man.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
yeah,
Great story, man. Like actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.